Hi, Pauline. I'm Julie. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to do this interview. To start, the first question I have for you is where were you born and where did you grow up?
I actually born and raised in the Philippines, and we moved here in 2016 with like my mom and my sister because my dad was a temporary foreign worker back then, but I still have like a brother in the Philippines. So
Mm. Yeah, so you came here to be with your dad?
yes, so technically my dad actually applied for our permanent residency here, and then yeah, it's just like to reunify with my dad.
Mhm.
So
How long had he been here in Canada before you guys followed him?
yeah. So my dad actually worked here in 2013. So it
Mm.
was like about 3.5 years before he actually got the approval for our permanent residency and before we actually landed here in Calgary. So
Yeah, and we're calling our series Newcomers. I was wondering, do you consider yourself a newcomer to the city still?
yes, I do consider newcomer still here in Calgary because I know that there's still a lot of like things I need to like know, and I know that there are a lot of like different like rules and laws that way different from where I came from. So we're from the Philippines, so like yes, I still consider myself as a newcomer.
Mhm. What has been one of your greatest challenges you faced in moving here?
So I think when my family and I move here, like I've mentioned, I still have my older brother in the Philippines. So like the first challenge is of course we're like yes we have been reunited with our dad, but at the same time we needed to like take that adjustment or like risk of not being with
Mhm.
our brother. So it was definitely like one of our biggest challenge. Like yes, reunification piece is there, like Philippines to like Canada, but you still left something back home, and it's kind of like sad to if you're going to like think about that. But at the same time, my dad actually did all his best to like try to bring us here, but due to my brother's situation, he because he has his own family, so he need to like apply on his own. So like the reunification part with like everyone in the family is one of the biggest challenge. And then the second challenge was, of course, the language barrier. Like I've mentioned, we do understand, we can speak, and we can read like English, but like the way to like express ourselves in like English or like in like expressing our emotion is definitely like a hard one or like a difficult one. And then the third one is, of course, like the external um, challenges such as where are we going to like get winter clothing, like winter is way different from the weather back home, and then of course like the resources, especially when you're starting here as a family. So where do you get like food bank resources and stuff like that, where to start? So technically like the challenge of like where are you going to start, um, that's third one. And then the fourth one is the educational system. Like if you will be coming here, let's say as an international student, or even though you're a permanent resident, but you want to like pursue post-secondary education, like the education system is way different from what we have back home versus what we have here in Canada. So I think that's
Mhm.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know moving is always hard, but to be an immigrant moving to a whole new country, that I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah. In contrast to the challenges you faced, what are some joys that living in Calgary has brought you?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a good question. I love that question. Like I know I've mentioned a lot of like challenges and like difficulties that I experienced as an immigrant, but to be honest, like moving here as a like a youth, and I'm a kind of person that loves like traveling, spontaneous adventures. So seeing that mountains in Banff when we've we first did our like road trip, it kind of like a dream for me and for my family, because like in the Philippines we don't see that kind of like view back home. We only see it in TV and maybe like a poster, but not in reality. So I think the best, one of the best part of living here in Canada, in Calgary specifically, is we're like an hour drive away from the mountains. So if you love outdoor activity, outdoors adventures like me, then you'll definitely like considered it as like one of the best thing in your immigration journey. So that's one. And of course, the second good thing that happened to me is I actually found like a community, like the Filipino community, where I can actually expand and like learn a lot of like different experience. So as like a youth, I did join in like different youth organization within our community to like expand and like enhance my like leadership skills, facilitation skills, and just like organizing skills. And like um, those experiences helped me to have like a job here or like employment here in Canada. Like I know a lot of people said that, oh, you should have like a volunteering experience or maybe a Canadian experience in order for you to get a good job. But like I think one of the best thing is like there are people in my circle or like people in the community that taught me that that Canadian experience that they're talking about is not just you having a job here in Canada, but it's actually you having like a volunteering experience wherein you can like um, see the potential and like your strength that you can like use in like employment work like when you get a job. So like having that like people around me that help me like develop that mindset that you have like a place here in Canada is like one of the best thing that I can consider in my immigration journey. So like having that like community, like that volunteering experience, that opportunity to like expose myself out there and like trying to like navigate my path where I'm going at, and like like what are the things that I love doing, but like instead of just like volunteering, I also get like getting paid for what I'm doing.
Next, I wanted to ask you if you could go back to your first week here in Calgary, what advice would you give yourself?
Mhm. So I think if I'm going to like go back first week here in Calgary, I'll say to myself that don't be afraid to like reach out. Don't be afraid to like call, because I know sometimes picking up like the phone to like call for to ask some question is a terrifying thing. Like our we're always using our phone, but we're actually not using it to our advantage. So yeah, I think that advice, like use your phone to your advantage. Try to like research a lot, like research nonprofit organization that helps immigrant or like companies that helps immigrant like us to get settled here in Canada, and what kind of like resources we can like tap into or use into our advantage. And yeah, I think one more thing is just be open. Like if I'm going to go back to my first week again, I'll say that like enjoy the process. And of course, I know if you come here during winter time, maybe just be grateful that we you get the chance to see the snow instead of like complaining, oh it's too cold, oh I'm not used to it. So just like be grateful of what stuff you're seeing in Calgary or like the place where you migrated, because there's like a lot of surprises along your way. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to ask also, so you kind of moved here, I'd say recently, but I wanted to ask you, how do you think your experience compares to past immigrants before you, or even like immigrants from this year or the past couple of
Mhm.
years?
I think my experience as like an immigrant is way different from the past immigrants, because, like I've mentioned to you, I'm blessed to have like people that migrated before me here in Canada, because those people know like the resources available, the things that you need to like consider when you're starting to like build your career and maybe yourself here in Canada. So I think like the past immigrants, they don't have like they don't have this opportunity of having a lot of resources available for them. Like I know people who migrated in like the 90s and the 80s, and they always say to me that you're lucky enough, you're fortunate enough to have like a lot of like organization that really like helping you, providing free services and free support for like immigrant like us.
Lastly, you've touched a little on your work at Siwa, but I was wondering if you could expand on it a little bit, explain what you do there and why you chose to work there.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I am the program coordinator here at SIWA. So what I do specifically in my role is I do coordinate workshop trainings, group sessions, like lunch hour groups, after school groups in schools. So we do partner with like different schools to provide these services to them, and we serve like immigrant girls ages like 9 to 19 years old, and like for example, in our lunch hour and after school groups, we do have like what we call Girls Culture Club. So in that club, it's a safe space for the girls to like express what they want to talk about and like build their like self esteem, self confidence. But at the same time, it's a space for them to like talk about the things that matters the most to them. And at the same time, it's a way for us to give that platform to the girls to like take ownership on the projects that they're doing, because I was a facilitator before, so I do work with a lot of youth, and just like seeing them, you know, working on a project that they're really excited and they're really happy about, and like sharing it to the community and to their school is a different level of fulfillment. So um, we are kind of like helping the youth to find their voice, or maybe find like something that interests them, so that we can like help them develop their leadership skills, public speaking skills, and of course like their self-confidence as well, and like having that platform is a really good one. So that's what I do in like my program. But one of the main reason why I work here at CWA right now, because if you're going back to my first story, CWA is one of the first place that my family I went to, and of course having that first hand experience of mentorship, like the resources available, and I actually use it, like my family use it to our advantage. Now, like as an immigrant, I want to like give back. Like as a youth immigrant, I want to see the youth to become successful as well, and I want to see them that they have a place here in Canada. They have their own unique strength that they can like use to their advantage. And I think having that mentorship piece and like having that support available for them is, yes, fulfilling on their end, but at the same time fulfilling for my end as well, because I get a chance to see this youth like grow and like becoming successful. And yeah, I think that's one of the biggest reason why I'm like working here at CUA. I just want to like give back, and I want to see that growth that I receive as well when I was starting here in Calgary. So that's that.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, that covered everything I want to ask you, but is there anything else you want to add for local Calgarians or other Calgarian immigrants that you think we didn't touch on?
Yeah, so I think just like a final message to like all immigrants or like local Calgarians that maybe starting their journey here in Canada, like everyone actually have a place here in Canada. And like I've mentioned, um, Canada is the land of opportunity, but opportunity doesn't come automatically to you. You also need to like try your best to like seek for those opportunities, those like free supports, free training, or maybe if you can like pay, that's totally fine as well. As long as you're building up yourself to your success, like trying to like see what kind of like opportunity or people that can like help you with your transition. It's a um, very good asset that you can like have. And of course, like don't be afraid of like trying to um, find your place here, or don't be afraid to like reach out to people that can like help you. I think leave that mindset of like, oh, they will judge me because I cannot speak English, or oh, they will judge me because I'm from this country. Like leave that in your back pocket, or like leave that behind, because the important thing here, we migrated because we know that there's a beautiful future waiting for us. But that future lies in our hand as well. If we will do the work, then like the universe will give us the opportunities that maybe we're waiting for too. So I think that's that.